Welcome back everybody to Civilization Winter is Coming mod. Where we left off last time, Mance Raider had come up against the brick wall that is Cold Water Burn and expended a hell of a large amount of forces trying to take this one. He did manage to snatch White Harbour, Sisterton and Newkeep very, very quickly indeed, but this one he just can't quite seem to organise his units good enough to take the city. In the south, the Tyrells had started to attack Sharp Point, but because the city only has 3 land tiles that you can attack from, and they're finding it very difficult. In the further south, the Lannisters look like they're building up a force on Essos, maybe trying to rival Khal Drogo, who is in second place right now. And everything else, the Tyrells are just placing little outposts everywhere. You see the Tyrells have got little holdings within everybody else's lands. But this is the war we are watching, because if Mance Raider can take out Cold Water Burn, he'll take a lot of production away from the Vale. This is the main place that's building units for them at the moment. As soon as they can take Cold Water Burn, they may sue for peace and try and take Iron Oaks away in the peace deal, or they may just push on for the Eyrie. Once Cold Water Burn has fallen, they should be able to envelop the Eyrie, although they'll not be able to get into Tywin's lands. But if Mance Raider can't do it, if the AI can't arrange the troops well enough, this is going to leave a big opening for someone else to come in and maybe attack Mance Raider while he's weakened. But as you can see, the Lannisters have got almost nothing in the north. They've got some defensive units for these 4 settlements here, and they've got a little bit of an army forming around Great Wick and Moor Caelan. That's new. Maybe got some envious eyes turned towards Winterfell. And actually, I may have called that a settler for Tywin Lannister in the last video, but it looks like it's actually a settler for Stannis Baratheon. He's trying to hold on. Sharp Point's coming under heavy bombardment now, though. If the Tyrells can land this trebuchet and keep it alive, Sharp Point may go down. Oh, Cold Water Burn, it is almost down. 1 or 2 more turns of sustained bombardment. They've got 2 units of crossbowmen and 2 battering rams, so yeah, this is looking very, very risky for Peter Baelish. He is now in last place. Here we go, this is Mance Raider's turn. Can he take down Cold Water Burn in this turn? I was just about to say I don't think he's got the strength, but he has. But this is going to be interesting because this turn, yep, I was just about to say, this turn, Peter should be able to retake Cold Water Burn. It's interesting that it goes up to half health immediately. But this is going to cost the town dearly. As you can see, the population goes down every time it gets captured. And it is now a wreck of its former self. Let's just double check down south. Looks like Stannis Baratheon has been able to repel the Tyrells again. That's twice now. And in the north, Cold Water Burn coming under attack. But the Vale troops pushing out against Mance Raider. Mance just doesn't have enough landed. He needs to get more troops onto the field of battle. There we go, retakes Cold Water Burn. But again, he hasn't eliminated these units. The Dreadfort has declared war on Stannis. What a surprise, the Dreadfort. Dreadfort's also declared war on Mance Raider. So there we go, Peter Baelish has his turn, and he wasn't able to retake Cold Water. And now Mance should be able to take out these Mountain Knights, and the Cold Water should be his. He's closing in on the Tyrells' score now. The Tyrells being pretty quiet for some reason. More forces for Mance landing. Got to be careful though, because these military units, these melee units from the Vale may be able to do some work. There we go, they're able to retake Cold Water. But they've got pretty much no defense now And Mance has 3 units of crossbowmen. He just needs to get a battering ram landed, and this city will be his. He has no melee troops within range, although it looks like he did. Oh, he had a ship, a melee ship, and was able to take Coldwater Burn. And this battering ram is going to fend off against these 3 units here, and this is looking really, really bad now. Just in time, you can see Stannis is forming an army near to the Erie. It's going to be interesting to see whether that is intended to wipe out Peter Baelish or whether it's intended to go north. Maybe try and challenge Mance Rayder at Winterfell. A little bit further south, the Tyrells look like they've given up for now on Sharp Point. They are building up another small force, but there's no way you're going to be able to take Sharp Point with a small force. And right now it looks like Khal Drogo's even stalled out a little bit. I don't really think he knows what to do with his huge, huge army. And you can tell Tywin's building up an army as his score jumps to 3,100. Mance Rayder only about 180 points now behind Olenna. And Mance actually moving in for the Dreadfort now. I think he's done with the Boltons. He's done putting up with their shit. And he's going to take down the Dreadfort. So now comes the question, what was Mance Rayder's intentions? Did he just want to get a quick power grab? Or did he want to wipe out the Vale entirely? Because he could do it. He's got a little war with the Dreadfort to fight. But once that's over... Nope, they've made peace. Dreadfort does a good job of declaring war and then making peace immediately. Somebody really needs to go the distance with that place and get it taken over. Now Mance can concentrate back in the south. Finish conquering the Vale. I think the Lannisters are actually looking towards Iron Oaks and the Erie. So this could be the end for Peter Baelish. And it'll be interesting. It'll be a quite smart move from the Lannisters, allowing Mance Rayder to come in and soften up the Vale, eliminating most of their forces, taking them out, and then the Lannisters just swoop in and take out the last 2 cities. There we go. Tywin has declared war on Peter. Like I said, being very smart, allowing Mance Rayder to do all the hard work, all the heavy lifting and all the grunt work to eliminate pretty much all of the Erie's forces. And then Tywin going to swoop in and see what he can pick up afterwards. There's pretty much nobody defending the Erie, unlike Coldwater Burn, which was an absolute slog. It was an absolute meat grinder trying to get that city. Back in the south, the Tyrells making another move for Sharp Point. They've got more forces this time. But then again, so has Stannis. He's got a lot of these red hands. Although they are taking damage. Some of these forces getting a little bit too close to Dragonstone. The Lannisters in the south, their army has set sail for the Vale. Did not mean for that to rhyme. They've set sail for the Vale to try and reinforce their army. To be honest though, number one, their army doesn't need reinforcing. And number two, they'll never make it. They'll never make it, and that means that that might leave an opening for Khal Drogo. Look how quickly Iron Oaks is going down now that Mance Rayder's eliminated all of their forces. You know, if Mance Rayder could sneak a battering ram into the east here, he could possibly snatch the Erie away. Because Mance Rayder does go last in the turn order. This could be a blessing in disguise for him, if he's smart. As he could wait until the Erie's been battered on, and then right at the very end sneak a battering ram in. But it looks like he's actually looking towards Iron Oaks. Even though Iron Oaks is probably about to fall right now, considering the amount of damage it took last turn. This is probably going to be in Tywin's hands right now. There we go. It's fallen to the Lannisters. And Peter's days are certainly numbered. He only has the Erie left. And look at the army that is arranged around the Erie. And that's just going to leave Stannis as the last remaining small empire. I'm amazed how long the Lannisters have held King's Landing for. Although it is right on the border. There we go. Mance Rayder has made peace with Peter Baelish. Didn't even get anything out of it. Just made peace. Didn't even want to sneak a battering ram in to try and sneak the Eyrie away. But yeah, King's Landing is right on the border with the Tyrells, and the Tyrells are still very powerful. They've managed to extend their lead now. Oh, look at this. Look how much damage Sharp Point has taken, thanks to all of these Dromans. But still, they can do all the damage in the world and need a melee unit. In fact, though, is this War Galley a melee unit? He may be able to occupy Sharp Point. And then they're going to turn their attention to Dragonstone. If not, they've got these landed knights that they could sneak in. Possibly. Tywin against the Eyrie. How's that going to go? Is he going to get to do any damage this turn? Nope, just trying to arrange his units. Tyrells against Sharp Point. Will it fall? Looks like not, because it looks like their melee ship was taken out. They've moved a couple more into position, though. So next turn, Sharp Point should fall. I'm surprised that Tywin hasn't actually attacked the Eyrie yet. Just trying to arrange his troops in the best possible place. That's definitely not what he should be doing. He should just be throwing wave after wave of his men against the walls and the swords of the Eyrie right now, just to try and wear them down. Can Elena take Sharp Point? They've lost 2 war galleys in quick succession there from crossbow fire and city bombardment. But there we go. Sharp Point has fallen to Olenna. Increases her score just a little bit. That just leaves Dragonstone and Gulltown. I'm going to see how well she can navigate the battle against Dragonstone. Stannis Baratheon did brag about how long Dragonstone managed to withstand the siege. I'm going to see if that holds true. The Eyrie's starting to take some damage now. Starting to throw wave after wave of his own men against the swords. Doesn't matter if they die at this point, because you will be absolutely wiping out the Eyrie. And again, I'm surprised how long Khal Drogo has been quiet for. He does have a large army stationed here. I can see him taking these 2 cities out very, very quickly. And there's another one up north for him to wipe out. And another down south. And then a little pocket of Lannister resistance here. Dragonstone taking a little bit of damage. The Eyrie. Let us see. Decides not to attack. Just pillages and fortifies. That's a bold strategy. We'll see if it pays off. And by bold, I mean strange. Mance Rayder used a lot of his forces in that war, but if he decides, well, I was going to say, if he decides to declare war on the Lannisters, he could maybe try and sneak some of these northern cities away, but then this huge army here will just ruffle stomp over Coldwater Burn and Newkeep, and maybe set sail across that small sea. Dragonstone is going to take one hell of a battering to take out. Wow, look at the size of this army. The Lannisters really, really want the Eyrie. But again, they are not attacking the Eyrie. They're just repositioning and moving their units around. With the amount of forces here, they could literally just right-click attack with everything, and it doesn't matter if it dies, because they've got so many troops. Dragonstone fully healed now. Olenna taking her time with this one. And I definitely think we're coming up to the end of this campaign now. We're at turn 413. We're probably going to get it finished by the end of the week. If not, then the weekend. If we do have to crown a winner just based on who holds King's Landing, then I might simulate a few hundred turns just to see how the game would turn out eventually. I don't want to... I wanted this series to be maybe 15 videos long at the most. And I think we're coming up to about that number now. I think this might be episode 12. I didn't want it to drag on for too long just because of the size of the map. If you've got something that's like a huge sized map, like say an Earth map or something, you can put that out to sort of 50 or 60 videos. It's a huge map, it's interesting. And this map isn't that big. The amount of forces that people have got now, this thing is definitely getting into the end game. So my original plan was about 15 videos. And like I said, we're coming up to that number now. Said probably turn 4 to 500 would be where we end. Here we go, Dragonstone taking a hell of a lot of damage. People denouncing Stannis Baratheon. I'm not surprised because he's the weakest after Peter Baelish now. Man's still not able to catch Olenna. And the Eyrie is taking an absolute battering. But I think at this point it is a foregone conclusion that it's going to go down. It's just a case of how long will it take. And can the Tyrells take out Dragonstone and Gulltown before the Lannisters finish that off? Was that Mance Rayder gearing up for a war against Khal Drogo? That is not going to go well for him. He's got 1 battering ram and 2 giants here. He would get absolutely obliterated. The Dothraki would be looking forward to that. They are itching for a war. Look at all of these troops here with nowhere to go. They're not very good at traversing the sea, as we've seen. It's when things tend to go a little bit wrong for the Dothraki. Do the Lannisters still have that force in the south? They don't. They're still sailing north. They may have made it into here by now. And if I was Mance Rayder, I'd be getting a little bit worried now. Because once the Eyrie falls, what are the Lannisters going to do with this huge army? What are they going to do with it? And my thought would be they're going to turn their gaze north. And look towards Mance. Or maybe move south. And go towards Olenna. Who knows? So the top 4 positions have been pretty static for the last few videos. I know Tywin and Drogo had that little interchangeable bit for a few turns. Let's settle back down now. Everybody's score just rising slowly in line with each other. And Dragonstone should fall very, very soon. Same as the Eyrie. And that's going to be bad, because that'll be Peter Baelish wiped out. And that'll be Stannis Baratheon down to 1 city in the form of Gulltown. The Dothraki sending out some Blood Riders, maybe just as a scout. Or maybe they're still at war with Dragonstone and they're going to try and sneak in there and sly that one away. There is no space for them to get in just yet. Dragonstone valiantly hanging on. Like I said, it withstanded a siege for a long, long time in the lore. And it's doing so now. But it should fall this turn. As should the Eyrie. There we go. The Eyrie is down. Let's see what happens to Dragonstone. The Vale is eliminated. Dragonstone not quite. It's going to be 1 more turn. And we'll see. Here we go. There is a big, big army building up for the Dothraki here. Overlooking these 2 cities. But who is he going to declare war on first? I would guess probably Mance Rayder. Because the way the AI sees it, Mance is an easier target. Thanks to his military strength. And there we go. What are the Lannisters going to do with this army now? Are they going to just scatter it to the four winds? No. This is not happening. He's not scattering his army to the four winds. This is a huge power move now. Tywin Lannister and Elena Tyrell have both declared war on Mance Rayder at the same time, and that is huge. That is huge. This could be the end of Mance Rayder, or at least the beginning of the end. He doesn't have very many defensive forces here, and this could be the end for Mance. That was a huge power move from the number 1 and the number 3 spot. Wow. This is going to be interesting indeed. But in the Maelstrom, the Vale was eliminated and Dragonstone was captured, and I think we're going to have to call it a day there. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and we'll see how this war goes in the next video.